We're live. We're
Cool.
live. We're live. But yeah,
Good,
just me.
Just
Sorry,
cool.
guys. I literally hit go live by accident, kind of. But we are live now with Mr. Chris Palmer SEO.com. We might we'll get that in. And check out ODYS. You literally have up until the end of tomorrow to grab your $400 bonus. I had to think what the date was there to check out ODYS. So make sure you do grab your $400 bonus before it runs out. So make sure you take action on that. But we are back for another Q&A session, and here to answer whatever questions you may have, guys. So make sure that they are in the chat. Maeve is here. Hey, hey, hey. Strangely, normally you get some messages from Fred Hutterson and all that kind of stuff. I'm not sure. There's nothing there. No hellos, but let us know where you are, where in the world you're watching from, and let us know what your questions are, more importantly. But before we do go to that, just always like to check in with Chris and see what the hell is happening, what's new, what's not new, just the same old, or is there anything crazy going on?
Man, I've been just taking your advice, actually, like consolidating everything under one entity, keeping everything together, up in the pricing, taken care of. I switched over from, I was using Freshdesk. I moved over to Zoho Desk because it incorporates a lot of the social media streams. I hired a girl, a woman, to help me to answer the messages, the emails, and get all the flows together and have her sit there, amongst other things she's doing too. But I've been just deploying on what we talked about, just trying to take my focus on the more high level stuff and take myself away from the stuff that's just spinning my wheels, right? Like Chris, like you're effing up, man. You gotta like like focus on the top, like the most important things, and then pay other people to do the other things. So I've been just deploying on what we talked about 2 weeks ago. Like seriously, like I just like wrote it on my my vision board, and that was it. Yep, I have my my quantum possibilities notebook here, and I've been just deploying on it, setting up the copyright rights for my book. Been taking care of that, the book, just working. That's all.
Interesting.
Yep, I wrote a book. Took me 8 months. I wrote it. I wrote the whole thing. I got it formatted and set up. I jumped the gun. I had a press release done.
Chris, is that Chris?
To get this LCCN, this library, like so stupid.
Oh,
what's that?
It froze there for me.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't know if it was you or me though, because I'm in some shitty hotel in Amsterdam. So apologies in advance for any fuck ups, but it is what it is. Holly is here. She stole my spot with Jonesy last night. Good crowd they've actually got there. So I will be back though. I was traveling. I was drunk last night, to be honest, and I wasn't going to do it at midnight whilst drunk, because that's just a recipe for disaster. But I will be back on Jonesy's show for anyone out there who's from Jonesy's place. SB Digital Media, hello. We've got Maeve, Kazi, Mandavi, Holly.
Now they're flowing.
Reese is there. Hope you ain't been eating too many pancakes, Reese. The guys were all out eating pancakes today, whatever pancakes are, in Amsterdam. I've been working and shit all day. I've had meetings and doing all sorts, and they're all out on the fucking whatever. So I will catch you guys soon though. But we do have a question. Keep the questions coming, guys. Kazi Farhan, Chris, get your hands ready to type this one out. What is reverse alias indexing, and how can we use it to leverage our strategies?
I don't know that one. I don't even know that one. That sounds like a coined term from who knows who. I don't even know. Let's see where he pulled it from. Let's see it. Ready? And he put it in quotes. Reverse what? Reverse what? I can't even remember that. Alias. Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. This sounds really wild. Let's see where that's pulled from.
I would go a wild stab in the dark and say that it's something that Brad and Mike have said.
Oh.
Is it?
Yeah. There's nothing even coming out, man. Oh, that's funny, man. I don't even know. That's hard. That's a hard one. I have no ideas. Is it possible to index a domain alias? So that's the only thing that I'm seeing here on Deep Crawl and Google support. But nah, I mean, if just because I haven't heard of it or maybe I've never heard of that term doesn't mean that maybe it doesn't work. I have no idea. But for me, for indexing, generally there's a couple things. Obviously it needs to be out there and live, right? The bot has to get to it. And then more notably, like if I'm not using an indexing service, then I'm going to send links, right? So that usually does it, a lot of times. So Hopefully that helps you out, man. Send some links to it, get it out there. Blog comments work very well.
Someone laughed at me for suggesting that before.
Yeah, well,
but hey,
they're wildly wrong.
Yeah. Anyway, Gundeep's here. Hello, Gundeep. Jonathan Wick for ecom.
Venom's giving a lesson.
Build links to blog posts rather than collections or product pages. He's asked. I think that's the question. So, would you build links to blog posts rather than the product pages or the collection pages?
It depends on how the site is formatted. I think that you should build the majority of your more powerful links to the top level pages, like the homepage. If you have like your top level blog to, because power always generally trickles down, right? So if you have your products and then all of your products are housed in the top level page, then send links to the products page. If you're trying to power up some of the blog and you have good internal links, then send it to the main blog page. But try to aim for the top level pages is what I'm getting at. That's what I do.
That answers your question, Jonathan. Randy is here as well. Good to see you, Randy.
Good guy.
Holly is saying, turn off your camera. You keep getting frozen. I'm just glad it's not me.
Wait, I'm frozen? Really?
It does keep being quite sticky.
Oh,
you're all right now, but it was earlier.
Huh.
Who knows? But it's fine for now.
Okay.
Anyway, Adam has a question. Hope you both lads are doing well. When starting an affiliate website, do you start with info content before jumping into commercial? And roughly what percentage of info versus commercial content overall?
I think that that's something that's going to be determined at the start of the campaign. I mean, do I sit there and think like, oh, I need 12% commercial and 25% informational? Not really, but if I'm looking at the top performers when I'm doing my initial competitive analysis and I can see that the top performers inside of SEMrush are more weighted towards informational content, then I'm going to build that into the plan. Like, hey, top performers have more informational based content, aka blog comment content, then I'm just going to work that into the keyword research, into the competitive analysis. So is it going to be like figuring out the exact percentages? No, but I may weight more towards informational if that's the case. I don't have a percentage or a particular percentage though. No. But I think when you're laying out your initial plan, when you're doing your first analysis and you're coming up with your content strategy, that needs to be factored in, but coming up with precise numbers, that's not something that I do. Doesn't mean that that's wrong or right, but it's not what I do.
Nah, don't go. It was the same when people used to talk about keyword density and things like that, and people had these exact figures and all that shit. Do what's working in the market, to be fair. Do your competitor analysis. SEMrush have the neat little intent little column there as well, which should give you an overall idea of what's working in your particular niche, in your particular location, which is the most important thing you should be looking at, rather than anything anyone else out there shouts out about in terms of percentages. But Kazi got asked that question, the the alias indexing question. I got asked this while visiting a potential client and got gobsmacked. They potentially were just trying to see how you'd react to some wild question like that, but it was funny. I might use that sometime.
I
Why
would have
not?
shot right back. Why, have you seen great success by utilizing reverse indexing? Just shoot back at them, mirror them.
Digital decks. I have a dying affiliate website. Do you know of any good alternatives that could be more lucrative besides the 2 to 5% commission on Amazon?
I hear this a lot. So depending on the product, obviously, right? I'm very, very confident that there has to be other companies out there that are willing to give a commission for traffic and or sales, right? So whatever the product is, I'd be looking for, there has to be standalone companies or standalone product providers. If you go look, I'm sure you'll find it. As far as alternatives, as far as a big network, there's a slew, right? Like there's tons of them. Just type in affiliate, I forget what they call it, networks, affiliate networks. Yeah. Type that in, and then you'll find lists. But I think I'd look for the in particular product providers and see what type of affiliate commissions or program that they have, and be very, very mindful of their policies. You don't want to get stung later on, like you're doing all this work, you're driving all this traffic, and you're like, wait, I only made $1,000. Like something's wrong here, So be mindful.
Be very mindful, because I've fell that trap a few times with dodgy cookie policies. So first thing you should always check, guys. But simply Googling your product plus affiliate will bring up a lot of private affiliate companies. For example, I used to have a golf website in the affiliate niche or Amazon, and I could have easily got 10% minimum elsewhere from many other golf providers. And that was double what I was getting from Amazon. So just changing from Amazon to something else is a surefire way of getting a bigger percentage. However, you also need to make sure that these people can deliver as fast as Amazon, because I think that's the big selling point with Amazon. It's just easy to use and quick delivery and all that stuff. So yeah, hopefully you can find a better commission, fast delivery, and change the monetization method of that website and move on. So good luck with that. Digital decks. Jonathan Wick is asking, how safe is it to 301 age domains to client websites?
It can be very safe if you've previously set it up to determine if the domain is trusted. Like, did it index instantly? Have you tested new pages on it? Did you reset up beforehand? Generally, like, we're going to set it up on like $1 host and see, when I'm looking inside of SEMrush under the top pages, under the backlink analysis, check backlink analysis, go down to the very bottom, you'll see top pages. Launch those top pages. When you launch those top pages, do they show right up? And if the answer is yes, great, put a new page up and see, does that take instantly too? And if the answer is all yes, then run that backlink profile through an indexer. And then what I would do is I would utilize usually HTA access And then I would go to those select pages and 301 those to individual pages, not the whole domain, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, individual pages. So if you follow that process, you'll be fine. But just buying it and doing it, no, no. You might get lucky, but I wouldn't do that. No.
Yeah, definitely not. Ryan Houghton, good to see you, mate. How are you? We're fine. Here's a question, Chris, that's got me stumped.
Mm-hmm.
Real stumped from Mr. Creative. How to rank our blog on Google's first page within 2 months?
Well, that's easy. I see guys touting this all over, like in forums and on YouTube. And the trick is pick a keyword that has no competition. I could probably do it in a week, right? So I think it's all about keyword research for ranking on the first page in less than 2 months. It can be done.
Could rank in 2 days.
A day. Yeah, as soon as it caches.
Yeah. But if it's for something competitive, stop thinking like that. There's no crazy, wild, quick way of doing it. If it's something like digital marketing blog or whatever. So it can be done, but 2 months on first page for anything competitive is slightly on the unrealistic side, shall we say, unless you're going to utilize dodgy tactics, which are likely to get you slapped. So be careful. Sacklin, how to secure my affiliate site to product review update version 3. What add my site not to hit update and anything? I'm not sure what that means. Chris, can you read that in any other way?
How to protect yourself against future updates. It's very hard to make that out. If you could just maybe simplify that question a little bit more, we could probably come up with a much better answer than just guessing. I could throw a dart and, but I'm just write it a little better, maybe.
No worries. Live IRL fan, is it fraud or illegal to sign up to hundreds of YouTube or Spotify premium free trial accounts using virtual debit cards? Do you think there's something illegal about that?
I mean, I'm not a lawyer. I think the best thing to do is maybe read their terms of service. Are they going to come after you for signing up for free accounts? I doubt it. Is it against the law? I doubt it. But I'm not a lawyer. So I don't know, man. I'd go check. Usually this is, my girlfriend says this. If it's something you have to hide, right? Or something where you think something's up, then you shouldn't be doing it. Right? Yeah. So there you
go. Holly says there are way easier ways. Live IRL fan is trying to get knowledge from Holly in terms of what was going on. But do you want to cross Holly? I'm not so sure, Live IRL fan. I'm not so sure. But I'm sure what she will want to tell, she will. With new CTR module we're testing with great results. There are easier ways, arguing news embeds. It's also something else to get the video ranked. Yeah, the guys are having a conversation on their own.
Holly is a master. That seed right there, a master. You see that little blurb?
Yeah.
That right there will cause a frenzy. I love Holly.
She knows her stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So Digital Dex has another question. Can you take a moment to talk about building out EAT for a site? Is that more of a backlink PR campaign for established blogs, 200 plus posts? So what's your view on EAT? Not that you're eating anything, just for anyone who says, what the fuck is EAT? expertise, authority, and trust. What's your views on it? How do you incorporate that into your projects?
Yeah, I think that that's going to be a two-part. I think you have one of the pieces, but then you're missing the last piece. So one of those pieces is going to be votes from other sites, right? It's going to be other authoritative resources or sources that are saying, hey, this is the authoritative source, right? Linking back to you. They're talking about you, and maybe you're even being guest featured on other authoritative places. That's one piece of it. But I think more importantly, it's going to be establishing the page. You know, if you go look at that white paper or whatnot, the way you're writing out your pages, the way you're clearly identifying your phone number, your address, particular schema markups. I think the best thing to do, instead of me just giving you wild guesses, is read over that white paper. It'll give you a very clear understanding of what's a trusted page, and then getting, you know about backlinking, and then setting up your schemas. I think that's the best thing to do, is just go over that page. But you have one of the pieces. The links are important, sure. But yeah, I think that's a good read too. You ever go through that, Craig? The white paper?
No.
Really?
No, I've not. Fuck that shit. I hate reading. I'm just being honest. But with expertise, authority, and trust, Chris has pretty much said it all. You need to make your blog a face, a person behind it, a real credible person behind it, and get those linked from other sources. Whether it depends on what niche you're in, but you have to be seen as an expert. And too many people still have faceless profiles or some dodgy persona or whatever it might be, and that's not good enough. Google are looking for some kind of authority, expertise, and trust. So yeah, check it out. There's lots of different ways you can do it, and PR and all that kind of stuff. So you're certainly heading in the right direction. Just Free Hub, GMB tips for a local cafe restaurant. What could you give? Just a couple of off-the-cuff tips that are going to help move that cafe up in the right direction.
I'd focus on keywords over locations in the Google business name, getting your variations in there. Limiting the optimization levels of the categories and the services that you're providing. If it's not a service listed on the site, then it shouldn't be listed inside of your GMB. Setting up your products and setting those into corresponding pages. And go and turn on go to sign up for Google Ads and go buy the local extension. Start telling Google that I'm a business that wants to pay for traffic for these keywords, the primary keywords you want to rank for, to the business. Those would be the first keys that I would do. Go turn on ads, optimize the title, optimize services and categories, do the products, and then go spend some money with them. You'll get a boost. That's what I would do.
Do what he says. Gun deep. As per the new update for review sites, what do you suggest? How shall we update the sites for personalized experiences about the products as we are making bulk Amazon sites?
So I always see these updates and things, but then I go and look at top performing sites, and that's still not what's being rewarded. So how to create them to this update, I don't know. I would still just follow suit of what's being rewarded. So I don't do them in bulk, so I can't help there. I'm sorry.
I'm unfortunately not able to help either. I don't make them in bulk to figure out how you would do that. And obviously, when you get an update, what I would say is let things settle down after an update and see what is being rewarded, as Chris says, and then make your move in terms of how you would figure that out. But always, what is working for now after that update is what you're trying to establish. And as I say, I don't do these things in bulk, and I wouldn't know how to do that in a scalable level. But figure out what what needs to be done first and foremost, and then you can look at a way of trying to semi-automate that or do it across multiple sites or whatever it may be. So hopefully that helps, but pretty bad answer from us, to be fair, but not our skill set. Rasha, hello. Good to see you. Chris, Holly is asking, is it been released anytime soon?
I didn't release. I was going to wait, actually. Is tomorrow Thursday? Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah. So the first initial was going to go to the group and see what they thought. But yeah, I'm pretty much, I am done. I'm done with it pretty much. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I did an initial like little sneak preview. So I offered the list first. So I'll probably do like a free 1,000 comment lists to promote. Like I'll give you a free 1,000 comments. Oh, well, why do I need the comments? Well, you need Scrapebox. So I'll probably give those away. Yeah, I'm done. I'm probably tomorrow is when I'm going to push it out, I think. But I was actually, Craig, I talk Craig quite consistently, or I try to. And like, I like your, instead of kicking out all these little ones, like, why not just have a master? So I started formulating more of a master training and do away with those other ones. I was thinking about just releasing all those for free as part of the membership, and then just do big dundadas. Like, okay, here's the local one. I like your ideas, man. They're good. But yeah, I'm done. A couple more things maybe, but
when can Holly get her hands on it?
Tomorrow. I'll give it to everybody. Tomorrow. Not everybody. People in my group.
Thomas, the train toys and more. What percent traffic can be sent to your website using CTR manipulation?
That's based on keywords in the top performers. So you first need to understand which keywords you're targeting, and then you have to look at the top performing websites. So you're generally going to try to hit 25% less than the top performer in order to get a movement. And then you're not looking at the primary keywords because a page ranks for more than one keyword, right? So that means there's more than one type of traffic coming to that page or to that site. So what I'm trying to manipulate is not the primary keyword traffic. It's the other keywords that are going to that page. And that's where you're trying to get your lift. And that's where you get the biggest jump, in my opinion. So percentage is based on the top performers.
Dean Signori, how are you, mates? 209 sharing IPv4 and 1302 sharing same IP. Is there any chance they're on a dedicated server?
Could be. There's always a possibility. Sure. Yeah, there's a possibility. I mean, you should be able to see. I mean, even if they're on separate IPs, like it's still probably like 152.66.80.12, and then it's 80.13, 80.14, right? So just go look at that is what I would probably see. But yeah, there's a chance.
Cool. DFY reviews with Google content is king. So supply good quality content and you will rank. Not far wrong.
That's
all about the quality of content out there. Chase, what's the one feature? So thank you first and foremost for the message or the donation. Sorry. What's the one feature you'd like to see in an SEO tool that you haven't seen yet?
I wish that there was a module that you could take, like, say, Surfer, and connect it to the asset, and you take your content, you put it in, it does it optimizes and then posts. So you take your content, you plug it in, and then it does everything else. So I have the content, I want it to be optimized and grammar fixed, and then I want it to post. That would be a cool feature.
Yeah.
That would be a sick feature.
Rather than going through all the T's Grammarly and all that fucking shit.
Yep. The optimization plus the Grammarly check, it's all done and then done. That would be cool, man. That'd be cool.
He's on it. He is on it. He says, Dean Signori, I didn't see a first message there. It didn't pull through. Can you stick the first message in, mate? Again, if you don't mind, and we'll just double check that we answered it properly, because I was thinking it was a kind of strange question. I'm just scrolling back and I cannot see it. Dean, the first one I see is that one there. So there you go. Let me know what it was and we'll come back to it. Sup team from Jonesy. Jonesy, how are you, mate? Hope you're well, buddy. Fist Turbs. Spinning my wheels. I have $1,500 a month to invest in getting a site gig going. This will be a 2-year plan to get me out of my current job. What are your suggestions? Affiliate, pay-per lead, etc. What would you suggest to someone looking to get out of their day job? I mean, there's no right or wrong answer, is there? What if it was you, Chris, what would you suggest?
Usually when I'm looking, I'd go get on with somebody else that's doing what I want to do. That's what I would do. You always want to be the man, right? And you will get there, but I think instead of going feet first into a new idea, I would go get on with somebody that is already doing it, because there's a lot of lessons there that you can't buy, So for me, if I was going to do it, I'd look to see who I could go get on with. That's what I would do. I would increase my level of life, right? My like maybe get a gym membership, get some like good mail-in meals, like increase your mental state, right? Your physical, and then go get on with somebody else. That's what I would do. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's me.
Interesting. For me, Chris, you could go off in any direction. And whether that be pay-per lead, affiliate, just doing GMB shit, whatever, going doing client stuff. There's so many different things or ways you can make money. You just need to figure out what side of it you enjoy and what you don't enjoy. And like Chris says as well, you maybe need more like learning in the digital market space. I don't know what your day job is, but just investing that level of money to get a side gig going. Let's say you did that, and over a year, the course of the next year, you earn some sufficient money. What if you hate it? What if you don't like dealing with the leads and all that kind of stuff? So and you think, fuck, I should have done affiliate. So I think you need to try and figure out where to go first and foremost, what you enjoy, what your weaknesses are, and all of that kind of stuff. And we all have them, and that's something you need to try and figure out, man. Because if you don't like clients, you don't like talking to people, then affiliate might be a better option. But yeah, you just got to work around what suits you on a personal level. But John Paul Tumwine, it is not over. We are still going for another 25 minutes. Yeah, we are always on for an hour. So if there's anything you want to ask, please do. Rasha's asking about the most important tips for an e-commerce website.
So I'm not the e-commerce professional, but I've had clients come to me in the past. One of the things is I don't do it initially, but I could just give a few tips, I guess. One of the first things is I would steer clear of, try to retain the property. Like instead of like going to Shopify, like maybe do a WooCommerce or something. Cause I notice a lot of people have trouble with the Shopify platform as far as SEO is concerned. And then other than that, the second thing that I notice a lot is get your structuring and the plan laid out first, because it gets wild and hectic when you start getting a lot of SKUs. So like really pre-plan, and 2, try to find a platform that you have more control over. That's all I can add though, but I don't do it per se myself. So hopefully that helps you.
And big thank you To Jonesy, thank you very much, mate. If you want to check out William Jones, he has his Rank Fortress, which he has a number of different things, and a very, very knowledgeable guy. Gives a lot of value out in this industry, and yeah, it's like many of the people in here, Holly, William, Chris, Chase, all of these guys are doing some solid stuff and giving a lot away. So check him out. Jonesy is a good, solid guy and does some amazing stuff. In particular, when it comes to the local stuff, he's smashing that out the park. Also does well on YouTube as well. So check him out. Chris, you mentioned the other week, Craig, you mentioned the other week that your mastermind is for experienced folk. Although new to this, with this investment and being in a powerful network like yours, how out of place might I be? It's not all. It's not all super experienced folk. There are guys that are very, very new to the industry, or So I'm not saying it's going to be perfect for you, but I never talk in, technical terms. I try and dull everything down. That's just a natural thing for me. It's not always about what you know. Sometimes it's about who you know in these networks. And there's a lot of guys who own agencies and stuff like that in my network. And I've had guys that have came from agencies going to being a successful freelancer. I've had people who've literally known next to nothing about SEO come under my network and go on and do really well. And this mastermind in particular is relatively new, but I've trained people for many years, and I've helped many people, like complete and utter rookies, make some form of success with that. So how out of place might you be? I would never think like that. I think if you've got a hunger and a desire to succeed in this business and you're able to absorb information, then you're certainly always going to be in the right place, whether that be mine, Chrissy's, or anything else. The masterminds do have some sharks there that sit quietly and don't say much, and really experienced people, but you have to take the time to talk to them all and pick up all those little golden nuggets. And I think masterminds are great. As I say, mine does have relatively experienced people in it as well, but I think that's fair to say is the case for most people's masterminds. I know Holly's got one, I know Chris has got one, I know Jonesy's got one. I think that, there's some big hitters in these masterminds as well, and there's always golden nuggets, mate. So you'll never be out of place. I take it that's the same for yours, Chris. Like your mastermind, there's very experienced. You've got your Hollies and people like that in there, and then you've got complete and utter rookies to just looking to learn the basics, right?
For sure, absolutely, and that's why I structured it the way I did, to like advanced, mid-level, and then affiliate. That's right. Yeah, there's all different levels, but then too, like I have guys like Reese, like where they got in, they were brand new, and they went from beginner to intermediate like overnight. Like they're talking about like all kinds of wild things. So yeah, I think it's good for everybody. I check it out.
I think who you surround yourself with good, positive, like-minded people will certainly raise the bar. Even if you're just sat in a mastermind and everyone's doing 10 times better than you, that should be enough motivation to you go, hey, I'm keep catching up with at least that last guy there. I'm not being bottom of the pile here in terms of the knowledge or the earnings or whatever, So, I think I've always found myself surrounded by positive, successful people, and it has always raised my game a little bit higher. That certainly motivates me massively anyway. But Kazi's asking, Chris, do you have a course on GSA? He needs help with it.
I do have a training on GSA. If you go over to the SEO Mastermind, you'll find it there. I'll put the link in there for you. You can go check it out. I'll put it in the chat.
Cool. Let me wait a minute. What the fuck? I can't see it, Chris. What to do is put it in the private chat and I'll copy and paste it because I think I stop people.
Sure.
I think I stop people from sharing links to try and get rid of the spammers.
Here, I'll put it in our private chat then. Here's the URL if they're interested. And then you get a kick, you get like a starter list with that too, just so you know. I updated it not too long ago, like probably last month actually.
Anyone who wants that is now in the chat and on your screen. So go and check it out. See what it's all about, because I think there's a lot of people that could be interested in that. So there you go. Make sure I go back to what is going on. Oh, not that one. Fuck. Right, so there we go. I've got it. Live IRL fan, Holly Starks, when are you releasing info or selling a course on this new CTR module you're testing? Let us know, Holly. So, Saclane, your question was, Google recently launched product review update version 3.0. So how to prevent our site for this update? I think we did answer it in another question. When an update happens, you need to figure out what those who are still there are doing differently to you. You know, how did they adapt to it, and incorporate that. So we don't ever have the exact answers of what Google does with an update. No one does. But as Chris stated in the earlier response to this question, you have to look at what's working now, and then adapt your website to that, because if you don't, then sadly that update's going to catch you out. So it's all about adaptation, and just look at what those are that are winning are doing. It's Chris Turbs punching above his weight, thinking along those lines? Absolutely not. Chris, we all have been there, wanted out the shit day job and to move on and all that kind of stuff. And some people, including myself, didn't have £1,500 a month to invest to get myself out the day job. So you're actually in a fairly good position.
Yeah.
Most people, because one thing that most people I know lacked was cash to invest. So if you've got cash to invest, you can make things happen a hell of a lot quicker than anyone else, mate. So you can do it, and you should start doing it. Fuck it. Why not? And how do you organise sitemap for e-commerce category and products? I think that was Rasha talking before. I don't know if that's the tail end of her previous question. How they organise, but fuck, the name's just went in my head. Shopify, as Chris said, is fairly restricted. You don't have access to the server, site speed, and lots of other little basic bits and bobs, which make it less SEO friendly than something like WooCommerce, which you can have a lot more control of. So you are going to be fairly restricted in terms of it's an off-the-shelf platform and you will do what they think you should be doing. Whether that's always right or not is a different story. But Richard Johnson, good to see you, mate. And he's looking forward to the Scrapebox training for the group. People not in Chris's group are missing out. If you're serious about SEO, you should invest in the groups that Chris, Craig, William, and Holly offer. You've always got to invest in yourself is the one thing I would say. I'm not going to sit here and say you have to use any one of the ones that are mentioned, but I think you've got to invest in yourself and invest in more knowledge. And I'm in Amsterdam and I'm meeting other SEOs, and I'm not in a group, but I'm meeting with other people and getting more knowledge all the time. So it's how I do it. But I think you've definitely hit the nail on the head there, Richard. There's a lot of good value in all of those. And Maeve, how much money does it take to get a DR0 to a DR40, and how would you do it? You can literally buy that for $40 on Fiverr if you want someone to manipulate that for you and make sure it looks like a DR40. Will it be a real DR40? The answer is no. You'd be using a lot of Google-based URLs to manipulate that, and I don't think that moves the needle in any way, shape, or form. I've tried it, tested it. It didn't move the needle for me, just doing that manipulation. But if I picked that up wrong, Chris, and Maeve purely wants to get to DR40 in general, just building links and all that kind of stuff, how much money would you look to invest? Or if she was asking you to do it, what's the kind of cost?
So I think to do it naturally is going to be relatively hard, right? So I think you could probably get up there for I don't know, man. That's tough to say. It took me a long time to get to a DR40. I built a lot of links, you know. It's hard to put a number on that, to give an exact number to say, hey, what is it going to take to get there? I don't know. If I had to say a number, $5,000, you know, probably. I really, it's hard for me to say that. Like, what's it going to take to get exactly to that number? Doing it without spoofing it, it's going to cost you. That's going to take some time. Yeah.
Listen, the way to try and cost this is I can't give you a figure on what the end figure would be. I can tell you on average, a link can cost probably $100 on average. You may need more than that though. Some PR gigs, you know, you want to lean heavily on higher press coverage and all that kind of stuff to make that happen quicker. I know guys like Randy Roday or Magic PR are always, you know, doing PR gigs, and you can get some high profile publications, but it's all about the power that's and getting the best value you can. And for me, the ones that move the needle are some of those big ass publications, and they sometimes do not cost £100 a pop. An average link costs £100 a pop, but some of those higher ones, you know, can cost you to anything between 500 and £1,000 to get onto, you know, the big stuff like the New York Times and various other things like that. And that would be what I would do if I had to push it to a DR40. However, what benefit that has for your SEO, again, I'm not sure, because the goal is not to necessarily get to a DR40. The goal is to build links, and it's a long-term project, and you will get to a DR40 eventually over time. And it took me probably years to get to where mine's is. I think mine's a DR58 right now, and that website has been live for 2016, so 6 years. My own personal brand's been going, and 6 years to get to a DR58. So let's just say half that if you were doing it naturally. And hopefully that helps you, Maeve. Jonesy saying, Chris Turbs, listen to the people that have an invested interest in your success. Find someone you can model that is already doing what you're doing. Too many people listen to people that have never done. And that is very true. Although he's saying listen to people like Craig, who has built a successful business. I'm again not here to self-promote or anything, but you know, when I'm looking at people to learn from, it is people that are successful, not people who talk a good game. And sadly, there is too many talkers in this industry who don't have the backbone or have never ranked things in their life. I'm not saying the industry's full of them, but you know, there is a fair amount out there who I don't believe are as successful as they're suggesting. So be careful who you follow. That is all I would say. Do your research, due diligence, and all that stuff before you jump in. But like Jonesy said there, potentially if someone sat me, Chris, Holly, and even Jonesy to a certain extent, I don't think we're all teaching the same thing. There will be some overlap, but we are not competing with each other. We're all doing sort of different things, different ways of making money. We're all at different stages in our careers and all of that stuff. So you need to find which one of us is the one that you want to try and replicate, whether that be Jonesy, for example, doing, you know, the GMB thing and all of the stuff that he's doing, or, you know, if you want to look at Holly, who just does all sorts of crazy stuff and YouTube stuff and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, there's probably people there that are better than others at certain things. So you need to pick which one of those fits, that person fits you more than anything. Anyway, DFY reviews. I've just got a new domain in Google page 1 within 48 hours. It is still a week alter. Question: what would you do if an affiliate does not pay you even after a few months? You ever come across that where an affiliate just refuses to pay you, Chris?
Yeah, but it was due to my own it was my own fault. You know, generally I'm not going to be in bed with somebody unless, you know, like the money situation has already been negotiated. I haven't really had that trouble unless I did something wrong, you know, but that's all I can say. You know, be careful who you work with.
Yeah.
You know,
it's, I mean, I've never really had an issue with someone paying out. I have had offers where people are saying it's a 90-day payout and all that. I'm just like, piss off. I'm not interested. But if someone wasn't paying me, even after a few months and they owed me, then I wouldn't be going down the legal route. You know, I would be pretty vocal in what they were doing to try and leverage my money. Let's put it that way. No one wants a bad reputation for and not, you know, for not paying their bills. So if they are due it, then just a little suggestion is if the more vocal you are, the more noise you make about that, the better. If you go down the legal route, you're just probably wasting your time to find a way out of it. But hopefully you get it sorted. Charlie Drives. What's the value of buying an age domain? Can you just create a bogus website from an age domain and make backlinks from this? Or is it not quite as simple as that, Chris? So a bogus website from an age domain and make backlinks from this?
Well, you can, but I think there's a little bit more to it than that. But, you know, the word bogus is an interesting term. It doesn't have to be bogus. I don't think that's the best way to go. I think maybe creating a website that's a website in order to utilize it for backlinking purposes is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't have to be bogus. It could just be, it's just another website in a sea of sites.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The value of buying an age domain, though, is you're buying a ready-made backlink profile. So if you make a real website, then you're giving yourself a head start massively because it's already got backlinks. So I don't believe in the bogus thing. You know, everything that I've got is there to make money. So I wouldn't be making bogus websites or anything. Certainly not. Dirk, how are you, mate? He's asking, do you emphasize using the redirect setting in Google Search Console, Chris?
I don't emphasize it. No. I don't even use it, I don't think.
I'm the same. I've personally never touched it. Never felt the need to. So hopefully that says enough about that particular setting and the value that it brings to the table. There's more important things to be worrying about than worrying about that shitty little setting in Google Search Console. I'll be honest, unless I've got a problem, I never look at Search Console. I'm not fucking interested. I've got other tools that audit things and I've got my own way of doing things. Search Console is probably the least used tool that I would use unless I'd seen a dip in traffic or, you know, something weird going on. Then of course I would jump into Search Console and analyze it, but anything more, I'm not a frequent user. And I think most SEOs I know are the same. Genuinely, I know SEOs that don't even fucking look at their analytics. They just look at their rankings, look at their ranking report. Fuck your analytics and digging deep into data, and they already know what they're doing. So there you go. Get into the masterminds and ask questions. They all have many people that have so much gold and value. I'm in several, and we're always learning, says Jonesy. We have 5 minutes left, guys. We'll try and get through as much of it as we possibly can. Jonesy's saying, what me and Holly are testing is gold. Dirk is saying, what's your take on having all sites potentially to resell domains and not PBNs be put under the same Google Search Console and Google Analytics account, Chris?
So you can house them. I mean, they're not PBNs, or even if they were PBNs, I don't see anything wrong with having it under a Google Search Console and keeping track of it. I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, it's just another website, I wouldn't worry about it.
Cool. I wouldn't. Joseph Villaba. Is it possible to get DR30 only using GSA?
I think it's possible. Yeah, I saw a gentleman send quite a few links to his site, and I think he's sitting at a 32 or 33 right now, and he only used GSA. So I think it's possible. Sure. You're going to build a lot of links, though, to hit that score. Like, 60,000, somewhere around that range. You're going to build a lot. You're going to build a lot.
I know. So I've read that question different. I thought he was asking, when you're building links in GSA, can you suggest that it's only DR30 pluses when you're setting up a campaign?
So how they have it set up is they're using like a PageRank score. So you can set it so it's not on any zeros. You can make it so it's only on like PageRank 1s or 2s or 3s. You're going to limit the amount of links you build, but usually we set it to 1. You don't want anything that's complete garbage, so at least a 1 is fine. That's just how their system's set up.
That's just in case I read that wrong. That's what I took from the question, but hey, I might be wrong, but there's the answer anyway. And Maeve meant a real DR40. So, yeah, you're going to need to spend a bit of time, but it's hard to put a cash figure on that, Maeve, sadly. But
yeah, you're probably going to need 300 to 500 referring domains that are of decent quality. So even if we utilized Craig's number there, like $100 a piece, that's probably, if you're going to buy it, that's probably around the right price. You might get it cheaper, but 100 times 300 to get there quickly, I would assume. Yeah.
What? How aggressive can you be with your tier 3 backlinks or with GSA or Fiverr service?
You can be as aggressive as you want. You're the webmaster. You can be as aggressive as you want. I'm relatively aggressive, but not tier 3, tier 2. Powering up stuff that I'm pointing at the site is where I like to show a lot of aggression. I like that word, aggression.
Jix host, how do you find out what the DR of your domain is, Chris?
Ahrefs offers a free tool. If you go to Google and just search Ahrefs free backlink checker, you can go over there, and just it'll give you the score. Yep.
And DR is Ahrefs specific metric, so you will have to go there. That's a fact. From William Jones, Honey, higher CTR of some pages is helpful in ranking other pages or websites, specifically in local websites. Is that true, Chris?
If it's real, if it's authentic, if I'm internally connected on my website to another page, and this page is, or let's say it's not connected at all, right? And I'm getting traffic to this page, and this page is doing really, really well. and then I link internally to another page, this page that I started linking to will start to perform a lot better. So do I think it's true? Yes. Yes, I do think it's true.
Peter Van de Graaf is here. Buy a couple of DR20s that are no longer of value to the current owner and redirect them to combine DR up to 40 from Van de Graaf. Chris is a genius in local SEO, very humble, but if you're not in his mastermind, you're losing out.
Thank you.
Hey, Mr. Amsterdam and Mr. USA. Dirk, it's always a pleasure. And Allah, my favorite SEOs, I think you meant. But no problem at all, Joseph. But sadly, guys, we are out of time. Just one reminder to double check ODYS. You're getting a $400 bonus up until the end of tomorrow. So make sure you take advantage if you're looking for those age domains. And we will be back same time next week. But do check out Mr. Chris Palmer SEO. Check out Jonesy, William Jones. Check out Holly Starks. Check out Magic PR. Check out them all. And you can check out my shit as well if you like. Make sure you do give us a little like and subscribe in the channel if you haven't already. And we will catch you guys same time next week. Take it easy, everyone.